This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. I don't know how many people are watching right now, how many people are suffering. Ida was terrible. For the whole state of Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, I'm telling you right now, I expected it to be bad, but not that bad. So as it turned out, we survived, and we're back on the air this week. People that got television. So just remember, this is sort of a delicate situation. We always pray to protect us, but then it hurts somebody else. We know God is listening, but he's still the master in control, and he makes those decisions. So I got my mask on today. I'm going to take it off. I know I'm hard to understand with it or without it. So I'm going to take it off and finish the show. We're back here at Superior Bait and Tackle. They're up and running. I talked to Mark and the people here, and they told me, well, all the camps all over the state, you know, where they go, they survived, okay? There's a lot of damage. My camp in Slidell had some roof damage, a little bit leaks, and got a little water damage in the camp, so. And all we were blessed. I don't even think they have electricity there. But let me praise the line crews from all over here in the state and everybody doing the best they can to get everything back on. I was a little disappointed that I didn't have any TV or internet last week, and I was going to blame it on, I was a little upset with Cox, who's been my provider and our show's been on Cox for so many years. I made the calls, and to find out when they made me a promise it was coming back on. I don't know if y'all know anything about electricity or what's going on, but fiber optics, some of the fiber optics got cut. And all of them had to have special people in there that were experts in splicing that fiber optics back. So as of this morning, I got it back. So thank all y'all, all those working out there, all the first responders. God bless y'all. And with all the work still coming up. So we have a few surprises. Don't know exactly what I'm going to show you this year, but I got a short fishing report, and I got some upcoming events. So you're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Superior Bait and Tackle here on Segan Lane.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and welcome back to Superior Bait Tackle here on Signal Lane. I'm going to start off with a little short fishing report I got, and I apologize to y'all that sent me emails. I couldn't get them. And the reports, and a lot of people called concerned. I got a lot of texts. I want to thank y'all. I tried to text a few people, like Tommy Vidrain and a couple of people, to see what was going on, but and see how they were making out, and couldn't get them half the time, so didn't have signals. But once again, I want to compliment Demco. Demco's been our sponsors for years. Let me tell you something, and not the only reason. They're my supply out in Central. If you'd have seen the damage out in Central Greenwood Springs, all the trees down, and some of the people, I'm telling you, in 2 days they were back with electricity. I was staying with my daughter, and we got it quick. And the people in the Bellingraph right there close to them, as soon as they can, and they were working constantly. I see them working at night. God bless y'all. Demco, it's not just because y'all sponsor, but I'm going to tell you what a tremendous job your people did. And Demco trucks were working constantly. Now, let me give you this short fishing report, the Abu Garcia fishing report. I got a report from Toledo Bend. Mark Westonhauser and Pat Thibodeau decided they were going to evacuate. They went to Toledo Bend. They thought they got further west and they got safe. They fished 3 or 4 days. They're averaging 35, some days 25 sacolay. They were fishing 13, 17 foot. They were using shiners and Bobby Garland on a jig. They were fishing mostly docks. That's why they were fishing that deep water. Old River's another one. They fish in the docks. David Pizzolatti gave me a report yesterday. He was there, and Blaine Salters was telling me the same thing. They're finding them deep right now. They ain't moved up in the shallows in the water yet. He's finding them. They ain't catching many. He said, but his worst days are 10 to 12. The best days are 20, 25. He said, you ought to see the size of them. So thank you, David. Leonard got word from David that Leonard Kleinpeter made a run in the Lake Verretti area, and he's finding in the back in the marsh and the canals, he's finding some root beer water. So that's usually not good, but in the lake itself, if it's not too rough, they seeking deep water right now, even wherever you're fishing. You go. So if you ever get back to Spillway, we're waiting on the fish report, kills. I haven't got none from the Spillway yet. I called the Wildlife and Fisheries to find out and see if I got a report, but they hadn't had nothing in yet, and the person I texted hadn't called me back yet. Now, that is basically the fishing report I got. Let me tell you this. People that are suffering right now, it's just all the marinas I go to and fish with, they had damage. Some of them, it's going to take months to repair. So next week, I should have more. I have more fishing reports now that I got my internet back. And we're gonna have, next week, we'll probably have the final results of the STAR. We'll meet with Rad next week. If y'all got any fishing kill reports to the Wildlife and Fisheries, go to their website and do it, or send it to me. All y'all marina dealers out there, if you want me to put some news next week on how y'all come in and repairs or when y'all gonna open, And I'm talking about from Island Marina, Venice, the Butlers. Ryan Lambert gave me a report. I'll give it to you in a few minutes, on, especially about how the shape of the marsh with the duck season, teal season coming up. And the other reports that I've got, it's going to be a dove report. So let me give you them and I get it over with. Jacob Dugas, before I get started, the dove report, Travis Day and them that hunt, always they hunt Saturday and Sunday in the Kentwood area. And same report I'm getting from people that hunt Mississippi and a couple of places. The doves are there before, and they're gone the next, and they come back. They don't know whether the weather, lack of rain, the drought. Some areas they got drought. And it just didn't have a whole lot of dove reports. I didn't get to go. I'll probably go next week and with my family hunt, and I'll let you know more of that. Island Marina, I was telling you, they done went through 7 storms. I've never seen that much damage. The canes are washed up. It was all on the road. There's people using bobcats and bulldozers and push them to the road, piling them up. There's a lot of recovery going on now. I'm gonna come back later and give you a few more reports. Let me go back to the duck report I also got from, they're gonna have a flyover this coming week, from Larry Reynolds telling me that what they seeing and what they hear in the marsh in the Southwest got spared a little bit, and they didn't have a big tidal surge. So they'll find out what shape the marsh is in. And there was a big tidal surge in the Biloxi Marsh and all those places people are hunting, Delacroix. I hadn't talked to Mike Benz yet. Don't know how that's going to be, but next week, when it opens, teal season will be open, I'll get as many reports as I can and come back to y'all. Just be patient with us. Be patient with people that are out there working and trying to get your power back, trying to help you clean up. Don't forget prayer. Let me making this as long as I can, because I don't know exactly what we're going to show yet. But let me say this. Let me mention again the Jacob Dugas 20th annual fundraiser, Jacob Dugas Memorial, September 25th. So you check them and you see it. We ran a flyer of what's been going on the last couple of weeks. So I apologize again. It ain't my fault. They didn't have the internet, couldn't take emails, couldn't even answer emails, couldn't send them out. So whatever Chris puts together, he's a magic man. So remember when you see something on Paradise you like, it's all because of Chris the Cock. Now, I hope he don't cut that out, because he's a pretty humble guy. So when I come back, I'm going to give you a few more reports on some of the marinas, and maybe we can show you some of the photos I got during and after. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Superior Bait and Tackle on Sagan Lane.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Binny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Binny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
Aggressive, modern, and durable. The latest advancement in spinning has the Revo name on it. and almost a century of fishing expertise in it. No matter where your passion takes you, world-class fishing is only a Revo away.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Every year, the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries stocks channel catfish at multiple community fishing ponds throughout the state through the Get Out and Fish program. Channel catfish are one of the most widespread and commonly caught species in the U.S., making them a fun and easy species to target both for beginners and experienced anglers. In this video, we'll go over some basic equipment and techniques you can use to catch channel cats at our Get Out and Fish locations. Let's start by taking a look at our rod and reel. For your reel, you can use either a closed-faced or spin-cast reel or an open-faced or spinning reel like you see here. When choosing your rod, we recommend going with a medium or heavy action rod to hold up to the strong pull of a catfish. You can find the strength of most rods listed on the side of the rod, normally just above the reel seat. For your line, any standard monofilament line will work for channel cats. 8 to 12 pound line is recommended. You can find both the type of line and the strength of line on your line's packaging. Now that we've covered your rod, reel, and line, let's take a look at some other equipment you'll want to bring along in your tackle box. When fishing for catfish, we recommend using circle hooks. Circle hooks help prevent the fish from fully swallowing the hook, making them safer for the fish and often easier to remove for anglers. As for hook size, around a 2/0 to 3/0 sized hook will work for most people. Circle hooks are designed to fit snugly into the corner of a fish's mouth, so try changing up hook sizes if you have difficulty getting bites or landing fish. Make sure to always bring along an assortment of hook sizes to give yourself options during your fishing trips. Next, we'll need something called an egg sinker, which is a key piece of the rig we'll be putting together at the end of the video. Egg sinkers are designed to slide freely up and down your line, which helps prevent fish from feeling the weight of your sinker when they take your bait. Egg sinkers will also allow our rig to roll across the bottom without getting snagged, giving it a more natural look and feel for the fish. Lastly, we'll need what's called a barrel swivel. We'll see why this is important in a moment when we put together our final rig. Any size of swivel will be strong enough for channel catfish. Just try to match your swivel to the size of the rest of your tackle. Now that we've covered all our equipment, let's see how we put these pieces together to construct what's called a slip rig or a Carolina rig, one of the most widely used catfish rigs in the world. We're going to first take our egg sinker and slide it onto our main line coming from our rod. This is where the name slip rig comes from. Next, we're going to take our main line and tie it to one end of the barrel swivel the same way we would tie it onto a hook. If needed, pause the video and visit the URL below for a tutorial video on how to tie basic fishing knots. After we've done that, we'll need to cut what's called a leader line. This will be a 12 to 24 inch piece of line that will attach to the other end of our swivel. And to finish the rig, we just need to tie on our circle hook to the end of our leader line. And here we can see our completed rig, commonly called the Carolina rig. Now that we have all our equipment set up, let's go over some of the baits we can use to catch channel catfish. Pretty much any protein source that gives off a strong scent will work well with this rig. Dough baits made for catfish, like you see here, are often a popular choice among anglers, as well as other baits like worms, chicken liver, dead shrimp, or even hot dogs. Channel catfish are rarely picky eaters, so use the best bait you have available. To wrap up, let's look at how to properly fish using the Carolina rig that we've assembled. To fish with this rig, simply cast out your line, let it sink to the bottom, then let it sit until you get a bite. You may have to wait a little while for fish to make their way to your bait, so don't give up if you aren't getting bites immediately. Patience is key with this catfishing method. You'll know you've got a fish on the end of your line when you see your rod begin to bend like this. At that point, begin reeling in and be prepared to land your fish. Now that you've learned all the tips and tricks for catching channel cats, it's time to get out and fish. Follow the link below to view a list of ponds that are part of our Get Out and Fish program, stocking schedules, and other events in areas near you. Thanks for watching.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and this is my final words for the day. I want to send out my prayers and everything to all the mariners, and I want to thank those the ones that before the storm, right before the storm, and that some of the pictures after the storm they sent, some of the damage. A lot of websites, and they've got more pictures. Probably don't want to remind you, but I want to show these pictures because in the middle of the storm, these people are sending. First one is coming from Bridgeside Marina, and Buggy and them been like family the whole time, you know, and it went through so many storms and oil spills. And some of the camps that I used to stay in for Father's Day, I stay almost a week there with my family and kids, grandkids. Both of those camps, I'd go back and forth. One of them's Camp Robert, one of them's Camp Renee, named after the kids. He sent me this picture, it just made me plumb nauseated. You can see him. ain't nothing but the poles left on some of them. Now, and I want all y'all to know these marinas, you text me, you call me, you do whatever you know. If you got a report and you want to send how you come in with restoration, please, Gary at Paradise, Louisiana, call me on my cell. You all got my number. Island Marina, it's been my second home now. In the last year, they've been giving me the reports. Miss Angie sent me some video while the storm was approaching, and she was worried, but she was worried about the wind too. The surges, they used to. They've been coming all the way up to the road, but this one was a lot different. You've seen some video. They lost 4 or 5 boats and boat sheds, but this is the new store. This is the side of it that even messed their rafters up inside there. The wind. So the butlers in Venice, I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but I had some of the captains over there were telling me, like always, they always survive. They didn't get the tidal surge they thought they were going to get. Ron Lambert said the same thing. You know, Katrina was 17 foot inside his lodge. So this time they dodged that bullet, but still there was some wind damage, and there's a lot of cleanup. Morans, didn't talk to Chris, but all his friends and people were sending me pictures and stuff, and I couldn't download them, so I don't have them, but they said they got his Facebook page and website. The restaurant, the store, and them wiped out again. They just rebuilt from the last storm, and now he's back again, but that's a North Baton Rouge boy. He's a trooper, but he'll be back. You better believe it. So the point, the new marina, and used to be the dock, didn't get a report from them, but people that lived down there said they drove by, and they got some damage, but I think they'll be back on. Later on, I'm going to talk to Lewis, and I'll have all those reports next week. So before I go out, God bless, God keep protecting us. God help these people in recovery. God bless Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.